We are going to get started, and these meetings are mandatory. We have several that we're going to be doing before the Next Gen Marketplace, and it's much easier if you're on here live. If you're not on here live, you have to acknowledge that you got the recording. You have to message me back with when you're going to listen to it. You have to message me back once you've listened to it. You have to, like, there's just a bunch of other things you have to do if you're not on the live than if you're just on the live. So we only have 2 live meetings before the Next Gen Marketplace. So it's not like we have a ton of live meetings, but they're really important. And so I'll give you guys, you already should have gotten an email with the next one, but I'll make sure you have that as well. Let me make sure we are recording. Okay. I just never want to assume. All right. And then let me do this. All right. So welcome to our first official Next Gen call. And I'm so excited because now we're going to start getting into prepping you guys to be the 2026 Kidpreneurs for the Next Gen Marketplace. So we are going to get right into it. Let me just, so our next call is going to be Tuesday, June 23rd. Tuesday, June 23rd. You will get an email after this call is done. It'll have the recording in it in case you need to refer back to something. Maybe you didn't write something down or you forgot something. You will have the recording to be able to refer back to it. It'll also have the reminder for the next meeting, but that will be June 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And yeah, and then we'll be meeting, of course, at First Steps to Success. So first and foremost, I want to say a big welcome to all of the kidpreneurs and a big welcome to any of the parents that are in the background listening. It's pretty incredible. You know, a lot of kids hear about this every year, and for whatever reason, some kids choose not to take part in this, whether it's fear, whether I think mostly it's probably fear. They let fear hold them back, that what if I look stupid, or what if I fail, or or I've never done this before, I don't know what I'm doing. But you are here and it says something really special about who you are. And I'm just really impressed with every single one of you. When I say that this is by far one of the favorite things I get to do all year, and that I literally talk to so many adults from all around the world, hear your stories, because it really is something special that you guys are about to do and that you're going to be a part of, which is the annual Next Gen Marketplace. And so, yeah, one more reminder now that everything's recording. This call is mandatory. So for those of you that are on here, you're here live, which means you don't have to message me and let me know you got the recording. You don't have to message me and let me know the date and time you're watching it. You don't have to message me after you've watched it, and make sure you understand the assignment because you're here live. It just makes things much easier. Our next meeting is going to be Tuesday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. However, even if you're on here live, we do have the recording that will be going out to everybody in case you need to go back and recatch something or something like that. As of right now, we have about 30 kidpreneurs that are signed up for the Next Gen Marketplace. So that is super exciting. We have several repeat kidpreneurs, and then we have some brand new kidpreneurs that have never done the marketplace before. So that's exciting as well. So let's first and foremost talk about the requirements of the Next Gen Marketplace. So number one, and this is going to be in the email, there is an official Google sign up form that I need everybody to fill out. And in the email, I will mark down who's already filled that out. If your name's not on that, I need you to make sure you fill that out or have a parent help you fill that out if you're not sure how. Super basic, but that is where I just need everybody to fill that out. Second thing, you must have completed the how to start a business training that I did at the last event. So whether you were there live or you got the recording, that link will also be in the email. That needs to be done. If you have not watched that or you weren't live, that needs to be done before our next meeting. Okay, that needs to be done before our next meeting in the next 3 weeks. Attending or watching the recording of the meetings that we're doing. So all of you guys that are here tonight, congratulations. You followed directions. You got the email. Your parents got the email. Somebody got you on here. Good job being here. Good job being on time. You guys are amazing. And then obviously the one on June 23rd. And then last but not least, the fourth requirement is obviously I've told you guys, we talked about it from stage, we talked about it on our info call. There is no charge to sign up for the Next Gen Marketplace. You don't pay for the training, you don't pay for your booth, but what you do is at the marketplace, you're gonna get an envelope. And that envelope is gonna say Kidpreneur Next Gen Marketplace. It's gonna say Hope for Honduras. 10% of your booth profits will go into that envelope and will go straight to King's Ransom Foundation, straight to Hope for Honduras, straight to helping out the kids that don't, like, literally are sitting there waiting for a home. And one of the things that we're doing a little bit different this year is we have 3 or 4 different kids that we're focusing on. And so let's just say, so every Kidpreneur booth is going to have a child that they know by face and by name, that 10% of everything I make is going to help build this kid a home. And so you're going to know exactly, so you're going to have like little teams that you're on, and you're going to know exactly where that money's going and who you're building a home for, which is kind of cool and all of that. And we're going to take a picture of each team so that the kids in Honduras can see you guys, the kids here in the United States who are working so hard to help them have a bathroom, have a shower, have a bedroom. So they're going to be able to see your pictures and all of that. And you'll be able to see, they'll be able to see your pictures. You'll be able to see their pictures. And even though they're from a completely different country, you guys are going to get to kind of know each other as well. You will also have those kids' addresses. If for those of you that like to write letters, you will be able to write them a letter and communicate with them and all of that. So super duper excited about that. All right. All right. So those are the 4 things. Those are the 4 marketplace requirements. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, super simple, not hard, really, really simple. Okay. Let's talk about some success strategies for the Next Gen Marketplace. Okay. So first and foremost, at this point, you should, or you're going to be listening to the how to start a business training. So all of you at this point should have or are coming up with this week a business name. Okay. And by the way, all these things that I'm going over, if you don't have this part done, some of you are like, I got a business name, Carmen. That is okay if you don't have that done. Any of these things you don't have done, this is going to be your homework between now and our next meeting. So as I go through these things, again, if you don't have them done, there's no reason to panic. There's no reason to be like, oh my gosh, I don't have that done. Just know, okay, I don't have that done, but I will have it done by our meeting at the end of the month. Okay. So number 1, what is your business name? What is your business name? And it literally can be anything. Like, don't overthink it. This is the one thing that, I mean, you're not paying to have this on a billboard or a sign. You're not making a website. So it's not like the name has to be perfect. This is just what your booth's going to be called, what your business is going to be called. Okay. And if, let's just say we've had Kidpreneurs change it. So if you come up with a name and you don't love it, you can change it next year. Your business name. What is your product or service? What is your product or service? What are you selling at the Next Gen Marketplace? What are you selling at your booth? Okay. Question number 3. How much product, how much inventory are you bringing? Okay. So like I was having this conversation with my kids today. It was like, okay, how much product do you need to have So like, let's just say my son, soap, right? He's making soap. So it's like, okay, how many bars of each soap do you need? My daughter, I'm like, how many jars of scrub are you gonna have? If you're making brownies, how many brownies are you going to show up with? What is your inventory? Are you going to have 20? Are you going to have 50? Are you going to have 100? What are you going to have? How much inventory are you going to have? All right. Are you making it or ordering it? Are you making it or ordering it? And if you're ordering it, what are the list of things you need to order? And when do you need to order them by to make sure you have them in time and you're not paying extra shipping fees? Okay. So those are the things that you need to know when it comes to selling. So what is your business name? What is the product or service you're selling? How many are you bringing? Are you making or ordering it? And then when do you need to order the things that you need by to make sure you have it in time? So this is a conversation that you can have with your parents of when are we leaving to come to Dallas or Fort Worth? So that way you can mark that down and be like, okay, we're leaving on July, 16th. So we need to have it at the house, hopefully several days before that. So no one's stressing out that your product's not there yet. And you're tracking down the FedEx guy to try to see where it's at. All right. So the next thing, so that has to do with your product. Here's the next thing. Pricing strategy. Okay. Pricing strategy. So those are all for the under the selling. What are you selling? How much inventory are you bringing? So the next little thing we're going to move to is what are you going to sell your product for? So before we figure that out, the first thing we need to figure out is what is it costing you to make it or buy it? And this includes shipping, by the way. Shipping costs money, tax costs money. So whatever your total cost is, what is that cost? Next thing you want to look at, so once you figure out what is your cost to make it or buy it, the next thing is what is market price for the product you're selling? So what that means is what is everybody else selling it for? So for instance, when my daughter was looking at market price for her scrub, we found out that scrubs this size can be anywhere from $8 to $40. Okay, so it's a pretty big range. Same thing with soap. When my son was looking at soap, we found out that for this size of a bar, it can be anywhere between $5 and $20 for this size of a handmade bar with his ingredients. So you want to find out, then there's typically going to be a range of what they sell for. Okay, and here's the thing, you don't have to be the cheapest. You don't have to be the cheapest. It's not like just because you are a kidpreneur that you have to undercut your product and be the cheapest person out there. As long as you have a quality product. Now, if you have a cheap product, then yes, you should charge a cheap price. But if you have a quality product, then you can charge a quality price. And even it doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter what your age is. So you don't price your product according to your age. You price your product according to the quality of the product. Does that make sense? So how much does it cost you to make it or buy it? What is the market price? Now, the next thing after you have that, now you're going to start to set your pricing structure. So now you're going to start to come up with what is your price for your product. And so for instance, my daughter sells this bottle of scrub for $12 each. $12 each. Okay. So she's not at the bottom. She's not at the top. She's somewhere in the middle. She's somewhere in the middle. Okay. My son, and they were $5 to $20. He sells these for $7 a bar. Okay. $7 a bar is what he sells these for. So you want to be, again, somewhere. I recommend you should at least have a minimum of a 50% profit margin. So you can take your cost and times it by 1.5 or add 50%. So you can literally take a calculator and you can say, let's just say it costs you $2 to make it. You can say 2 plus 50%. And that would give you a product of, or but you can have, so that should be the minimum. Minimum markup should be, that should be the minimum. You can also have 100% margin, which means if it costs you, so if you, a 50% margin, let me ask you guys, does anyone know if you had a 50% markup and it cost you $2 to make, what would you sell it for? Good job. I see Miss Bain giving me a 3. She is right. That means if she would mark it up 50% of what the cost is, she'd sell it for $3. So if your profit margin's only 50%, you'd make $1 in profit every time you sold it. I'm a big fan of 100+% profit margins. So if it costs you $2, so again, 50% should be the minimum. I don't think it's even worth your time of doing something if you can at least have a 50% profit margin. However, 100+% profit margin is really where your goal should be. So if it costs you $2 and you have a 100% profit margin, what would you sell it for? $4. That's right. That means you're doubling that means if you buy it for 2 or you make it for 2, you're selling it for 4, you make $2 every single time it sells. Okay? And so my kids have a multiple 100% markup on their products. Now, they got there over time. As they've been in business, they've been able to purchase more. They've been able to purchase more supplies to get their supplies cheaper. Does that make sense? So I say all that to say you get to determine, and this is a great place for you to go to your parents after, and you're going to know. Like for some of you, if you're making brownies, for example, my goodness, it might cost you 30 cents to make a brownie and you can sell the brownie for $2. If it costs you 30 cents to make a brownie and you sell it for $2, that's like a 1, 2, 3, that's like a 600% profit margin right there. Fantastic. So anyway, you get to determine what as long as you're selling it within the industry standard, it is okay to have a multiple 100% profit margin. Okay. Every business is in business to make profits. And here's the cool thing. The more profits you have, the more money you can give away to those kids that need a home. The more money you get to put in your wealth account, the more money you get to save. So it's a really good thing to have a good profit margin. All right. So once we figure that out, the next thing we're going to move. So we talked about what are we selling? We talked about our inventory. We talked about our pricing. Okay. Now again, all these things, you're going to bring these with you to our next meeting. So you're going to have this all written down or typed out, however you want to have it. And you're going to bring these with you to our next meeting. For those of you, by the way, with a really high profit, I talked to Mr. Cohen about this last week. For those of you that have a really high price, like his products are hundreds of dollars, and it is always good if you're thinking about adding a second product, for those that have done this before, to have a different pricing tier. So that way you're not just super high, you have a lower tiered product as well. All right. So next thing, this is really important because you can have the best product, you can have an amazing profit margin, but how are your customers going to pay you? How are they going to pay you? Okay. And so you need to figure out, and for you kidpreneurs, listen, this is where your parents are going to be really amazing to be able to help you with some of these things. So you want to figure out what payment options are you going to accept. And you want to make sure that when someone walks up to your booth, it's very clear on what payment options you accept. So for instance, my kids accept PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and Cash. So they have 4 different payment options that they accept. Obviously, my kids don't have PayPal, they don't have Venmo, they don't have Cash App, but they use mine because I have all of those. So and I'm going to be sending out a blank template that you guys are going to be able to use if you want to. But this is what my kids have. They have just a simple piece of paper that says ways to pay. and it has PayPal, it has Venmo, it has Cash App, and then it says we also accept cash. So my daughter's is pink, my son's is blue, and they just literally have this sitting at their table. And if someone wants to pay Venmo, they scan the Venmo. Someone wants to pay PayPal. Now, let's just say you're not technology. Let's say you don't like technology. You don't know how to put things into Canva. Let's just say your printer's broken. Well, that's okay. Guess what? There's another option. You can literally write it on paper. You can get a piece of paper and it can say, we accept cash, PayPal, Venmo. Is that backwards for you guys? Okay, it's showing up right. Yay. When I look at it, it's backwards. So I'm glad it's showing up. So, and then if you accept PayPal or Venmo, you would want to write next to it, what is the phone number associated with the PayPal account? So listen, you can, again, I'm going to send you a blank template to be able to insert your own inside of here, because you wouldn't want to keep my PayPal in there because then all your money would come to me. So you would want to insert your PayPal QR code, your Venmo QR code, your Cash App QR code. And by the way, you can just accept one. You don't have to accept all three. This will be a discussion you'll have with your parents and get their intake. Your parents are all super smart. Do you know how I know that? They have you here. So, oh, someone's already got theirs. There you go. So you don't have to, you can pick one or two or whatever you and your parents come up with. Your parents are smart. So whatever they think you should use, trust them. Again, they're the reason you're here. Just going to say, they're probably smarter than the average. But again, if you don't have one of these pretty little signs, at least get a piece of paper, write it out clearly and big so that people can see it. And you're going to have a standard table at the Next Gen Marketplace. So you're going to be able to display it out. So when people walk up, anytime there's confusion in a transaction or there's any friction, it reduces conversions. And what that means is when someone's not sure what the next step is, any confusion makes people think about it or walk away. You want to make it super simple on what your pricing is and how they can pay you. Okay. So there's two different signs you're going to want to have at your booth. One is, of course, how they can pay you. And then the other one is how much are your products? When it comes to pricing and your products pay or your clients paying you, one thing that's really good to do and to think about is an event special. An event special. In event specials, I typically recommend bundling products. So for example, my daughter's event, these are $12 a piece. Her event special, if they buy 3, it's $30. My son's soap is $7. If they buy 4, they get 1 free. Okay, so those are just 2 examples. Or maybe you're selling brownies, and if they buy 4, they get 1 free. Buy 3, get 1 free. Or maybe brownies are, $3 each, and instead of 4 for 12, it's 4 for 10. So you want to think about some way that's going to get a customer to buy more, but saving a little bit of money if they buy more. Does that make sense? So again, you don't have to have an event special. I recommend it. So have your regular pricing and then think about an event special if they, get several of whatever it is that you have. All right. Next thing when it comes to cash, if you're accepting cash, where are you going to keep the cash during the marketplace? You can have a cash box. You can have a fanny pack. My kids have a little zip envelope, like a bank envelope. It's black and my daughter's is purple, and it literally zips and they put their cash inside of there. When you come to the Next Gen Marketplace, it's a really good idea. Also, this is a really good idea when you're thinking about your pricing. I would not necessarily do $5.99. I would not do like $8.43. I would, knowing that if you're going to accept cash, I would try to keep the numbers round numbers, easy for you to make change. If you have something that's like $7, like my son's soap is $7. So inside of his cash envelope, he's going to start off with some ones, some fives, some tens. So if people have cash, he can make change. Okay. He can make change. So for instance, we'll typically take like $100, we'll make change and we'll put it inside of his envelope. And I know he's starting with $100 cash inside of that envelope. All right. All right, next thing. So we talked about what are you selling, how are your customers going to pay you, pricing, where you're going to keep your cash. Next thing we're going to talk about is your booth setup. Okay, your booth setup. All of your tables will have a tablecloth on them. You're welcome to bring whatever you want to decorate your table. You can just use the standard tablecloth. If you want to bring a pink sparkly tablecloth, if you want to bring a transformer tablecloth, if you want to bedazzle your tablecloth, as long as it's yours, you can bring whatever you want to bring to decorate your booth. As long as it stays within your booth and it's not protruding into the aisle, you can totally do that. It's your booth. You can knock yourself out. You want to make a balloon arch to go behind your booth? You know what? You can have fun with that. whatever it is that you want to do. So here's what you want to ask yourself when you're thinking about your booth and your product display. What will people see when they walk up to my booth? Obviously, you're going to be there standing by your booth. What are they going to see when they walk up? How are you going to display your product? The next thing when you're thinking about, and we're gonna work on this, a little bit more as well, but you want to start thinking about what is your pitch? When someone walks up to your booth, what are you gonna say to them? I'm walking up to your booth, I'm walking by your booth. What are you gonna say to me? Are you just gonna smile and wave, or what are you gonna do to set yourself apart from all the other kidpreneurs? So you want to come up with what is your booth going to look like? What is your pitch going to be? What are you going to say? Okay. Then you're going to practice that, because on our next call, you're going to be giving us your pitch. On the next call, all of you are going to have a moment to pretending like we're at the Next Gen Marketplace. I'm walking by your booth and you're going to give me your pitch. Your 10-second, your 20-second, your 30-second pitch, whatever it is. Doesn't have to be long. It's basically what you're saying to get me to come over, to get my attention. Okay. All right. Number one rule. Here's the number one rule. Number one rule. First off, you guys are kids. Everyone is going to be so impressed that you have a business. I don't care if you're selling pooper scooper bags that smell like strawberries. They are going to be impressed that you are a kid selling pooper scooper strawberry bags. Are you with me? Like, they're going to be so impressed that you're a kid. So you're going to get kid grace just because you're a kid who is doing some pretty amazing things. So don't overthink it. But here's the number one rule is be friendly, smile. It is your biggest asset when it comes to talking to people, is simply smiling and waving. Us adults instantly think you're cute if you smile and wave. And it's really hard to say no. Some of your parents pretend like they're on the phone when they see the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts at the door, because they have a hard time telling the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts no. I think almost all of our parents have been guilty of buying some kind of Girl Scout cookie, even though we didn't want it or need it, because those cute little Girl Scouts asked us to buy something. All right. Here's the biggest thing. There's only a couple of no-nos when it comes to your booth. Then the first no-no is no yelling. No yelling. This is not a amateur. We're not going to have kids like, hey, come to my booth. We're not going to have that. We are professional, and you're going to be professional. Okay. So no begging, no yelling, no selling outside of marketplace hours. So we're going to have our marketplace hours, which we're going to talk about here in a moment. And those are your designated times that your business is open. When your business is closed, you are closed. When your business is open, you are open. All right. Pricing should be visible, easy to understand. We talked about offers, packages, bundles, event specials, all of those things. The marketplace schedule. Okay. So we will be meeting at the event on Thursday night. The marketplace, you'll be able to set up your booth Thursday afternoon. Thursday afternoon, you will be able to set up your booth with your product. You'll know your booth number. And so when you get to the hotel, I'll give you exact times that the ballroom will be open for you to set up. And you'll have a booth number and you'll be able to find your booth number and go in and set up your booth. Okay. That door will be locked. So the ballroom will be locked. However, cleaning staff does have access. So here's what I'll say. You can bring an extra sheet or a blanket to put over your product. I would not leave cash under your table, even though the door's locked. Because again, cleaning staff will have access to the ballroom, and it's just never a good idea to leave cash unattended. But we've never had an issue with Next Gen leaving their product in there. But our hours will be, we will be open for an hour and a half on Saturday evening. From Saturday evening, we will be open for an hour and a half. And I believe, I need to verify with Miss Ratchford, but I believe it is from 5 to 6:30. Again, I will verify that and we'll confirm that on our next meeting. And then Sunday morning, before the session begins, we will have an hour and a half that we're open as well. Before the session begins. No selling outside of designated hours. We talked about that. Let's see here. I'm just looking at my notes to make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay. One of the other things that are going to be in the email that you're going to get is every booth is going to, or I recommend every booth having one of these. And it just reminds people that 10% of your purchase goes directly to Hope for Honduras. And this way, people know that 10% of their purchase is going to a cause. You'll be able to have a picture if you choose to have it of who the person is, what his or her name is. You guys will know who your teams are before we get there. You'll be able to be like, I'm on team whoever. We're going to have that all divided before a couple weeks before the Next Gen Marketplace, so you will know that. But the most important thing is people like to know that they're supporting a business that has a cause behind it. So if you choose to have one of these at your booth, this will be inside of the Canva things that you can print out if you choose to. All right, so let's recap for just a moment, okay? So between now and our next meeting, here's the things you need to know. What are you selling? Your business or your business name. What is your product or service that you're selling? How many are you bringing? What is the quantity of products you're bringing to the marketplace? Are you making them or ordering them? When do they need to be made by or ordered by? And if you need any supplies, what are the list of supplies? And when do those need to be ordered by? Okay. Second thing we need to know is our pricing strategy. What is your cost, including shipping, including any tax you paid? What is the cost that it takes you? So when Liberty's finished figuring out her cost on her scrub, she has to figure out all the products that takes to go inside of here. So when we buy her essential oils, her scrub, her honey, her coconut oil, and she makes a batch, how much is that? Her container. This container costs money. This waterproof label costs money. This costs money. Her little scent label on top costs money. So when she adds all that up and then divides it out, what is her cost for one of these? Okay. Once she knows that, you're going to look up industry standard for the products you're selling. And then you're going to select your cost should have minimum of 50% markup. Huge fan of more than 100% markup. Okay. after you do that, how are your customers going to pay you? Get with your mom and dad, figure out how they're going to pay you. What signage are you going to have at your booth? Where are you going to keep your cash? For those of you accepting cash, where are you going to keep that? What's your booth going to look like? And what is your pitch? What is your pitch? Okay. All those things need to be done and figured out. And here's the thing. It really, all these things, when I list it out, it seems like a lot, but it really doesn't take that long. I mean, it probably wouldn't even take like maximum 30 minutes to figure all that out if you were actually focused and you sat down and actually did it. Before we end tonight, I want to open it up and see if there's any questions that you guys have.
I have a question, Carmen.
Yeah.
I was wondering if me and Nyla had turned in our Google Forms.
Let me, the list of who's turned in their Google Forms, I will put it in the email, but here's who I have Google Forms for right now. Dixie and Skylar Wilson, the Baines, both Peter Shimes, Elizabeth Allard. I do have both of you guys. I have both Strattons. I have Gabe. I have Titus. I have Gia, Aiden, and Liberty. I have Wesley. I have Weston. I have Brady Miller. Yes, and then I already said I have both Peter Shimes. I have both Baines, and then both Strattons.
Thank you, Carmen.
You're welcome. So if I did not say your name, I don't have your Google form filled out yet. That will be in the email. Please make sure that you guys fill that out.
Make 50 earrings or 200.
Yes, go ahead, beautiful.
About how many people came as customers last year?
Oh my goodness.
Ballpark.
I mean, over 150.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. She's trying to figure out inventory. I love
Hi.
that great question. Hi, buddy.
How big will our tables be?
It'll be like a standard size. I mean, I don't have dimensions. I can ask Mrs. Ratchford. She's the one that's taking care of that part of it, but it's like a standard size, probably 4 foot by 2 foot.
Okay.
And I will confirm that with her. But normally it's like a 4 feet wide, and then normally it's 2 to 3 feet deep.
So can we bring our own table?
No. Well, let me confirm that because sometimes the hotels have different rules and we gotta have different, yes, I will confirm that with her. I will be with Miss Ratchford next week. So I will confirm that with her, but they try to keep everything uniform size and all of that, but if you send me an email, Titus, with what you're thinking, I can ask her that because she's the one handling all the logistics in the ballroom. And so I will ask her with what you're thinking.
We will send you pictures of what we're thinking. What we're thinking.
Okay, that would be great. Yeah, just reply to the email, send me pictures, and then I can show her and see what the hotel will and won't do. That way we'll know by next week.
All right, thank you.
You're so welcome. Great question. Any other questions that you guys have?
Is it like a trade show with vendor booths that are U-shaped, or is it more like a line of tables?
It's going to be like a line of tables.
Okay.
So each booth will have their own table, and the booths are kind of like right next to one another. So like here would be Aiden's booth, and then we'd have Wesley's booth, and we have Titus's booth, then we have Weston's booth, then we have, Zion's booth. Like, so it's, then we have rows. So that
Did
way
you have
people
the
can,
kids? Yeah. Did you have the kids stand in front of the tables or like put their items on the table and stand behind? Or is it open to the kids? Okay.
We've done it both ways. Honestly, it depends on how many kidpreneurs we have and the space we have.
Okay.
So that is primarily what so we've done it both ways.
That
The year
might be
before they
depending on
stood
the-
behind their tables. Last year they stood beside their tables.
Okay. You can just move your body where you need to be. It's flexible for what your needs are. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have a question?
So, when did let's see here. Never mind. I gotta think of my question. Sorry.
It's okay. And we're going to meet again in a couple weeks. So if you run into any questions, and again, if you have any questions that are really pressing and they can't wait till our next meeting, you can email. And either me or my assistant, she will probably respond to or if it's a question she doesn't know, she'll ask me and then we'll go from there. So yeah, I'm really excited. And here's the cool thing, guys. Like, this is one of those skills. Like, I know without a shadow of a doubt, no matter where life takes me, no matter where I end up, that if I got dropped out of an airplane and I didn't speak the language, I didn't know anybody, I could always survive because I have these skills. So these skills you're learning, these are life skills that you're going to be able to take with you into your own business someday, or whether you choose to run your own business or helping somebody else run their business. These are skills. These are skills that the marketplace pays for. And one of the things I will tell you is one of the most underestimated things that I think kids do is getting used to speaking in front of people. And I think there's this big myth that some kids feel just, the kids that are good at speaking in front of people, or the humans that are good at speaking in front of people, it's natural for them. But for most of us, it's not natural for me to speak in front of people. This is a learned behavior. I've learned how to speak well in front of people. And when you can speak well to another human, everybody can talk. Like, everybody knows how to talk. But the people that can speak really well have a higher value in the marketplace than those that don't. And so for those of you on here, you kidpreneurs, I really want to encourage you, for those of you that have this label that people have put on you that you're shy, that this is going to be something really good, that you're going to get to practice talking to other humans. You're going to get to practice making eye contact. You're going to get to practice your pitch. You're going to get to practice this thing of overcoming this whole thing that people have of fear of what other people are going to think. And I am going to tell you, it is going to be one of the best skill sets you ever develop, is learning how to speak well to another human, learning how to connect to another human. So I'm very, very proud of every single one of you. I'm very, very excited for us to kick this off. I'm very excited for you to get off here in the next couple of weeks and do all of your homework. And then we're going to meet up again on Tuesday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. So you guys will have an email from me tomorrow. It'll be coming from carmenoquinn1@gmail.com, and that'll have the recording and then everything that we talked about. So have a great night. I will see you guys in a couple weeks. Here, everyone unmute yourself. On the count of 3, we're all going to say bye.
Let's do it.
I didn't know the question you wanted me to ask.
You guys unmute.
Um,
All right.
My
I love
mom
all the
wants to say
fingers coming
another
straight
question.
at the phone. All right. You guys ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. Bye.
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 Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Carmen.
Can I hit you?